Hey everyone, do you want to expose your content to different audiences so you get more exposure on your content that you're producing from YouTube? Of course, YouTube is a great platform, social media platform, to get a lot of search traffic and traffic that you get by YouTube promoting your videos. But there's other audiences that are on the net that don't necessarily go on YouTube. So in today's live stream, or if you're watching a replay, I'm going to be talking about how you can use social media to promote your YouTube content. So basically what you're doing is you're taking that one piece of content that you created for YouTube, and then you're going to modify it, convert it, repurpose it, so you can get the most out of that one piece of content that you've created. So instead of recreating all the content over and over again, you're just taking that one piece and you're distributing it into multiple platforms. So the great thing about this is that you just do the work once, and then with a little bit of extra work, then you can expose your content to different audiences on different platforms. My name is Herman Drost, and my YouTube channel, is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot. And YouTube is probably I would say the best social media platform to get started on, because you create the content once by creating a video, and then it remains searchable on YouTube so long as it's on your channel, and so people find it through the search engines, and that can happen every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year. So I have videos that people are still discovering after 4, 5, and 6 years, and I did the work 6 years ago, and it's still producing traffic, leads, and sales. So that's a beautiful thing about YouTube. But I want to talk also about the other social media platforms. I want to welcome people here. We've got the General ID, we've got amazing Boracay, we've got Harley, we've got Scott Fichter, we've got Akira's Mom, USA Tamil Vlog, Scott Fichter, I mentioned that, and Chris. Good to see you, Chris. Happy Friday to you all. So I guess the question I have for all of you that are on the call, are any of you using social media, apart from what's actually within the YouTube channel? Are any of you what social media channel do you prefer outside of YouTube? Using any of those particular channels. So I'm gonna go into the benefits. What are the benefits of using social media? So I'm gonna go to one of my slides here and show you this. So I'm going to talk about how to use social media to promote your YouTube content, and some of the benefits. You do definitely get more traffic. So because you're reaching a different audience, and you can also if you build up a big audience on a different platform, then you can generate sales from that platform. And you're basically, as I mentioned earlier, you're repurposing the content that's you've already created. So you've already created for YouTube, then you're kind of repurposing it to for the other platforms. And you reach different audiences. So you have different audiences that are on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, etc. So it's worthwhile. Some people that are some of your audience, they're not even on YouTube. They prefer to be on Facebook. They prefer to be on Instagram, and and that's where they stay. So it's worthwhile to kind of, if you have the time, to look at these other platforms. For YouTube, if you have, I mentioned increases session start time. So if you're on other social media platform and you bring people over there from that platform to YouTube, then that creates a session start time on YouTube. And if you get a lot of those, then that sends signals to YouTube that there's activity taking place. You avoid putting all your eggs in one basket. So, for instance, YouTube is great because it gets billions of people uploading videos, watching your videos, etc. But what if you get a strike on your channel, or if you get 3 strikes, your channel is terminated and you lost your channel. So you lost all your subscribers, your views, etc. So if if something happens, like I think recently YouTube talked about kids channels, that they're getting very strict on the comments and what's taking place on them. So if you have a great kids channel, maybe you're losing a lot of traffic. But I think it was last week, week before, I had a couple of videos on my channel that were flagged, and as a result, I had a strike on my channel. And once you get a strike on your channel, you can't upload any videos, you can't live stream, you can't, you get certain restrictions. So your channel's kind of shut down. So therefore, it makes good sense that to kind of get your eggs out of the YouTube basket and go on other platforms, build an email list, build a website, so you have more control over what's happening, and you don't lose all your audience, etc. It also helps build your brand. So people see you on YouTube, then they go to Instagram and they see your brand there. They go on Facebook, so they get multiple touch points and they see you all over the net, and as a result they become more, you get that know, like, and trust factor, and you get build your brand that way. And also it may be that your competitors are not doing that. So maybe they're all on YouTube, maybe they're all on Instagram, all on Facebook. But if you've got that extra time, then it doesn't take too much extra time to repurpose your content and get it out to different platforms. Another way, which we'll talk a little bit about later, is a strategy that you can use instead of just uploading multiple times during the week to YouTube. You might think about less uploads and just do a great video, and then repurposing that video throughout the rest of the week to other social media platforms. So so Harley's saying I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook accounts, but really post to them. And Chris is saying that Twitter, Cash Juice, Web Talk, and Facebook. I haven't heard of this Cash Juice, so there's some new ones there. All right, well, so that's some of the benefits that relate to getting your using social media to promote YouTube content. So let's look at some of these platforms. So of course, YouTube is actually the main one we are starting off at. So I just thought I'd put this little graphic in there, because when you're sharing your YouTube content, then you can just click the share button under your video and up pops all these social media platforms. You don't have to leave YouTube to go to these platforms. So So you can share your content immediately on Tumblr, on Blogger, Dig, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these social media properties. And if you have the community tab on the YouTube channel, then you can also create a post on your community tab and share the video there. So right off the bat, YouTube is actually recommending, by putting this, making this easier for you, to share the link, share the YouTube link across all these social media platforms. And so if you check your YouTube analytics, you might see that your traffic sources, a lot of traffic sources, are coming from external. They're not just coming from YouTube search, but they're coming from different places. It could be from your email list, it could be from Facebook, etc. So you could go into your YouTube analytics, and when I went in there, then most of my external traffic, and actually most of my traffic, is coming from the external source, YouTube, Google search. So that's not particularly a social media platform, but I embed my videos on the website, and that's also searchable. So that's an external traffic source. So you get a lot of traffic from Google search, but you might get a lot of traffic from Facebook or Instagram. So that'll show up in the, your external traffic sources will show up in the YouTube analytics. Okay, another place you can share your YouTube content is on your Facebook page. So you can just create a Facebook page. It could be the same name as your YouTube channel, or if that's taken, you might choose a different one. But basically, just create a page, that has a, it could be your own name, or you could even just use your own profile page of Facebook. But all these social media platforms, they work in different ways. So Facebook is not a search engine, so therefore, the content that's on there is not going to stay on there very long, and it's not searchable, etc. But they have all these social media platforms have their own algorithms. So if you upload a native video and you upload your YouTube file to your Facebook page, then you can that carries more weight than just uploading an image. So you can just take your YouTube file that you've uploaded to YouTube, and then share it over onto upload it to your Facebook page. Alternatively, you could just grab a snippet, grab like a 1 minute snippet or 1 minute clip from your YouTube video, maybe just the introduction, or it could be the middle or something like that, and then upload that particular file to your Facebook page. So the good thing about that is that you're uploading a native video, so it could be a snippet, could be the full video. I would kind of recommend testing that out. What gets the most traffic. So if you upload a snippet, like in my one of the videos uploaded this past week, was how to create a square video. And if you create a quickly, you've already created a YouTube video, but you can just grab like a minute of that video you've already created for YouTube, and then rescale it into like a 1080 by 1080 square format, and then use that to upload to Instagram, to Facebook, and then you can put your You can put your title across the top, and you put the put like a subtitle at the bottom, or you could even put a whole bunch of captions. So as the video is playing, people can read the captions while the video is playing. So they're listening to the video, they see the title of the video as it's playing, and then they also see the captions under the video. So that's kind of very powerful because it's actually reinforcing the message that they're listening to. So and then if you put it on Facebook, on your Facebook page, then you can in the comments you're putting a link to the full video on YouTube. So they're watching the snippet, and maybe in the end of the snippet you can tell them to if you created a separate call to action, you could then tell them to click the link in the comments. So and then that starts a new session start time on YouTube, which then shows YouTube that you're generating activity. But if you just want to focus on the Facebook platform, you could upload the full video to your Facebook page. You could include include a specific thumbnail in there as well, and then you could test the Facebook the full video versus the video snippet. You could also upload the thumbnail image. So if you don't want to upload, you've already created the thumbnail image of your for your YouTube video. So if you don't want to upload the video, then upload a thumbnail image so that if you have a lot of subscribers or a lot of viewers on your Facebook page, then you can just put the link in the comments to YouTube video. So I think it's a matter of testing. I don't get a lot of traffic from Facebook, so maybe you can possibly build up a lot of traffic from your Facebook page. So it's definitely worth giving that a shot. And another thing you can do is on your Facebook page, you also have the opportunity to boost the post. So if you boost the post, that means you can get more views going to your, you might spend $5 or $10, and it's, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but you can boost it for $5 and maybe get 1,000 views. And I've known people that they got more views, more traffic from Facebook than they did on YouTube. So it's definitely worth an experiment and maybe get traffic on both sides. So it's just sometimes you get a different audience on Facebook than you do on YouTube and the other ones. So it's definitely worth testing. And then with Facebook, you can also, if you have some money, you can actually do Facebook ads. You can create a Facebook ad, and then you can spend like maybe $1 a day or a couple of dollars a day to promote the Facebook ad and build a custom audience. And then you can do what's called retargeting and spend like $5 or $10 to retarget those people that have watched your video on Facebook. And by retargeting them, you're spending less money, and also that they've expressed an interest in watching the videos. So you're not actually retargeting people that's cold traffic, but you're retargeting people that is the warm traffic. So that's another. Maybe I'll do a live stream or a video on that at some stage. How to promote your content using Facebook ads. Okay, another one is Facebook groups. And if you're not a member of my Facebook group, then I'll put the link there. Maybe Harley can put it in the chat if you're still there. Otherwise, put that in there. But the thing about Facebook groups, if you don't have a Facebook page, but with Facebook groups, you want to find relevant Facebook groups where you could post your YouTube video, where you could share a link to YouTube video. You put you can, if you aren't, the whole point about Facebook groups is you don't want to just go and spam them. Join a whole bunch of Facebook groups, and then you just drop your link in there, and then leave. So and I see that because I have a Facebook group, and I've run it for probably I have about 700 members in there. But the problem is that a lot of people join the Facebook group, and then they think they can just tell people to subscribe to their channel, check out my video, etc. And they haven't engaged in any discussion. Nobody knows them in the group, etc. So if you post to a Facebook group, don't go there and spam the group, but engage in the conversation. Engage in the people that are active in the Facebook group. Maybe check what the rules are. If the rules are not to promote your content, then don't promote the content. But in my Facebook group, I give members an opportunity to share a link from their YouTube video once a week on Sundays, and that's a special thread where people can then show some love to other members in the group by commenting on their videos, etc. But otherwise, my group's all about interacting with other members, getting feedback on your videos, asking questions, and asking, getting feedback on your thumbnails, etc. So when you're looking for Facebook groups, look for the relevant groups that are related to the content of your channel, and then kind of just participate in the discussions, check the rules, and if you're going to post a link to your YouTube video, it could be an answer to a particular question, could be part of the discussion, etc. But most of all, just don't drop a link and then leave and not engage on the group. And Hardy's saying here that yes, as a moderator on some Facebook groups, spam is frowned upon, and will get you booted. So as soon as so that's true. So a lot of times I've had people that have joined my Facebook group, and they've just, even some people have gone live on the group or dropped an image in there or promoted a product, etc. So immediately, depending where I am, if I'm outside or on holiday, then you don't catch it right away, but you get booted basically. Your post gets removed, and if it appears on there several times, then you might get blocked altogether. So become a member of the community by interacting in the group. Don't just drop the link there and leave. Engage with the active members, and then don't spam, and look for groups that are relevant to your content. And another thing is that you don't, on YouTube, this also happens. I thought I'd just mention this here. A lot of people in the comments on YouTube do sub for sub. So they say, well, I've subscribed. They maybe have 10 YouTube accounts that are all just kind of spammy accounts. And they say, well, I've subscribed to your channel from 10 of my accounts, so please subscribe to my channel. But according to YouTube, that sub for sub is actually illegal against their terms of service. So you could get a strike, you could get flagged, for doing that kind of activity. So definitely don't recommend doing sub for sub in the comments of different people's videos. Okay, Instagram is another social media platform, and the great thing about Instagram, it's kind of more shareable moments, or it's more short-term content, you could say, even though people can find you through the hashtags. But the good thing about Instagram is that you can share your content on the Instagram stories. You can share it on the profile. You can go live on Instagram. You can even share your full YouTube video on IGTV, and you can do it from your mobile phone, or you can even now do it from your desktop, so you don't have to change all the you don't have to change the landscape to the portrait mode and all that, but you can just upload that video file from your computer directly to IGTV. But of course, a caveat to that is that if you've got a lot of call to action links in your YouTube video, you might want to kind of edit them out beforehand. Alternatively, you could just grab like a couple of minutes from your video and post that onto IGTV. So with Instagram, I think there's like maybe 90 million people on Instagram, or something like, some huge number. And a lot of businesses do use it, but I think it's a great way that you can kind of work Instagram with YouTube. You can kind of got the quick moments on Instagram, and then you got the longer form content where people are, they go on YouTube and they're going to watch the whole video. So, but I think the good thing about Instagram, you can take your YouTube videos, and with a little bit of conversion, you can share them on Instagram. So as I mentioned here, you got Instagram Stories, which is 15 to 30 second teaser. And one way to use Instagram Stories is just grab that 15, you can even go live on Instagram Stories and just tell people, hey, I've got a new video coming out tomorrow on YouTube. Check out the link in the bio, or go to my YouTube channel. And Instagram Stories disappears in 24 hours. So you just put it up there and then it's gone. But it's kind of a very kind of quick shareable content that you can do. Your Instagram profile, so you can share an image or a video. So you can just create an image on Canva, and I think a square image is actually the best. So like a 1080 by 1080 image, you can create it in a few minutes on Canva. You can create an infographic, and then you could just share several points in that infographic or on that image. Or you could shared a video about that this week, just grabbing like a 2-minute section of your YouTube video, make it into a square video, and then put the title at the top and some captions at the bottom. And then when people that are following you on Instagram, they'll see that video. They'll hear the video, they'll see the title, they'll see the captions, and you can even tell them to just go over to your channel or click on the bio. So, and I think this really comes down to testing what is actually what's actually going to work the best on Instagram. Is it going to be those Instagram stories? Is it going to be a full video on IGTV? So your whole video, if it's 5 or 10 minutes long, you could just upload it to Instagram TV. You might want to remove the end screen and any call to action like click the link in the cards, because Instagram people won't know what's that about. But you could remove those, or you could just post the video, like a snippet of the video, to your profile, and then tell people to click the link in your bio to go and check out the video on YouTube. So it's kind of two different trains of thought there, but I think it's a matter of testing. If you put the full video on Instagram TV, you could build up a big audience on Instagram, and then you could, if you're trying to make money from that platform, then you could, bring people. You can actually bring people to a landing page. You can put that landing page link in your bio, or if you're on Instagram TV, you can even have a clickable link in the description. So that's a great thing. So, and if on the profile you can't have a clickable link, and I think on Instagram stories, I think you've got to have 10,000 followers. But with Instagram TV, it's not so easy to find on the mobile app, but it's worth giving it a try. So another thing you can do is just go live on Instagram TV. So go live on Instagram. So you just, when you're on your phone, just press the live button and just go live for, you can make an announcement about your video on YouTube, or you could just give it like a shareable piece of content from YouTube video. How do you get found on Instagram? Hashtags is the way to go. So you want to find when you create the content or upload the content to Instagram, you want to find relevant hashtags. So all you have to do is kind of put a keyword into the search function on Instagram, and it'll give you a bunch of suggestions. So what I do is I just I use the voice commands on my phone. Take the phone, and then I'll just go to Instagram, and then while I'm creating the hashtags, I'll just hit the mic on my phone, and like I'm doing a voice recorder, and I'll say hashtag how to get more views on YouTube or something like that, and then it'll give you the hashtag, and then you can just build up your hashtags that way. Or you could go to other people that are using Instagram and look at their hashtags, and you click on their hashtags, it'll give you more hashtags. You can also use something like displaypurposes.com. You put in your keyword there, and it will give you different suggestions for the hashtags. So you can use up to 30 hashtags for Instagram, and this helps people discover your content on Instagram. So it's a different kind of algorithm than YouTube, but it's a way for people to discover your content on Instagram. So if you're sharing and I have that graphic you see there is like how that snippet, that square video I created from my YouTube video, how it appears on Instagram. So it's going to have the title, it's going to have the caption at the bottom, and then while the video is playing, so they're listening to the video, they're seeing the title, they're seeing the caption. So I think that's quite powerful. And then to kind of build up your Instagram following, you definitely want to reply to messages, comments that you get on your Instagram videos, and then, you know, maybe this is one way you can do it, is to comment, do 10, 10, 10. You know, every day you could comment on 10 posts. You could like 10 posts. You can follow 10 people. And if you did that for several months, you could build up like 10,000 followers on Instagram. So I have a friend that followed that formula of 10, 10, 10, and she said, you know, within 10 months she had 10,000 followers. So I don't know if you want to do that, but, you know, if you want to build up your audience on Instagram, now that you've mastered YouTube, then you might want to try that. But the way I see that myself using Instagram is that it's a great place to not put all your eggs in one basket, but, you know, sharing your YouTube video content through stories, profile, perhaps live, IGTV, etc., as well as just uploading your video to Facebook. Okay, I want to also mention about alternative ways to repurpose your video content. So probably some of these are very probably familiar with you already, but, you know, transcribing your video is a great way to let the hearing impaired watch your video, read the captions under your video, so you're appealing to a different audience too. So they can't hear your videos, but they can see the captions, or if somebody has the sound turned off, then they can see the captions. You might want to pin a comment to the top of your video, so you could link to a playlist to another video. So you pin that comment to the top of your comments, so when people go to reply to your video or post a comment, they'll see your comment. So I found one way that's worked pretty well for me is to ask a question in the comments. And a great tip here, you know, now that YouTube is recommending to put the privacy settings to unlisted before you publish the video. So what I do is before I publish my video, I'll set it to unlisted. So that means people that have the link can watch the video, but you can optimize the video by posting a comment to it, pin that comment to the top of your comments, and this could be a question. You can also get your video transcribed. So if you're doing, if you've created your video a couple of days ahead of time before you've scheduled to publish it, then you can send that link to a transcription service like GoTranscript or Rev.com and get it transcribed, or you could transcribe it yourself. You know, you could just go into that automatic transcription that YouTube gives you and just edit the transcription, save it as a new transcription, so that when you finally change the privacy settings from unlisted to public, your video is already transcribed. You got your comment already pinned, you know, your question already pinned to the top of the comments, and so you don't have to go back and do it, you know, once your video's gone public. So I think that's a great kind of system that you know, helps to you know, generate activity. Use the community tab. So when your video's gone public, you can post it. You know, if you got the community tab, I think you need 1,000 subscribers. Then post that link on the community tab, get some engagement there. If you got an email list, then you could email your list. And one good tip there that you might try is, take your thumbnail that you've created for YouTube, and if using something like Aweber or some other email list provider, then put that thumbnail as an image into your email and make it clickable. So when people go to check out your email or see the image, they can click on the image. You could even create an image in Canva with a little, what is it called? A little arrow in it. You can stick the arrow in there so it looks like it's clickable. And so you can use the image and then, use the email list to notify your subscribers about your new video. Blog posts. So take the, another way to repurpose is to take the YouTube video, and then you can embed it on your website, on your blog, and then you can, possibility is get people finding your video through Google search. So I've been doing this for several years, and that's why, as I mentioned earlier, most of my external traffic is not coming from Facebook, it's not coming from Instagram, but it's coming from Google search. So because Google's the #1 search engine on the net, YouTube's #2, and so I'm getting most of my traffic to the YouTube channel from the videos that are appearing in Google search. And that's coming about because I've embedded the video on my blog, on my website. So that's another way to kind of repurpose your content. And it's not going to rank immediately, but as your YouTube channel ages and you continue consistently doing this, then videos that maybe you've created several weeks ago, several months ago, several years ago, that it will start appearing in Google search. So you're getting traffic from Google search, and you're also getting it from YouTube search. Another thing you can do is to take that YouTube video file and extract the audio. So most video editing software allows you to extract the audio. So you extract the MP3 audio, and then you can upload it to podcast. You could create a podcast. You can even upload it to iTunes, and I think there's other ones out there. You can just do a Google search on that, but you could create a whole podcast show. So I know a lot of YouTubers doing podcasts these days. So when people that don't want, maybe they're driving their car, maybe they're at the gym, and they can listen to your YouTube content, so they don't have to watch the video, but they can just listen to the content on their earphones. And another way is to convert your video content to an ebook using something like Designer. So I think I mentioned this before, but basically what you do is, and I think I've got a link. Maybe I've got a link for that. Where is that? Just hold on a second and just drop a link to that if you want to check that out. Now this is software that you can take your transcript from a YouTube video. So once you've transcribed a YouTube video, then you can take that transcript, convert it to a PDF file. You can use something like Zamzar.com. That'll convert any file into something else. So it'll convert it into from your transcript. If you get your transcript, then as a document, Word document, they can convert it to a PDF file. And then with Designer, you can import that PDF file. I think you can even import a Word document and then it'll convert it into an ebook, and then you can submit that ebook to document sharing sites like Scribd or slideshare.net, etc. And there's a lot of people that and often those platforms have good search engine traffic, so it's another way you can kind of get traffic from that. But it's a great way to kind of grab your content that you transcribed it, and then you can convert it to PDF file, and then import that PDF into Designer, and it'll convert it into a beautiful ebook or report that you can use as a free lead magnet, a free report, free ebook, or even sell it as a product. Oh, Chris is saying, what about Alexa briefings? I know a few marketers have done that. I'm not familiar with Alexa briefings, but yeah, I'm sure that maybe even Alexa might be able to translate your content. So yeah, so once you've converted into an ebook or report, you can share it on document, upload it to document sharing sites, etc. Some hot tips. I think have a strategy. So when you're using social media to promote YouTube content, you want to have a strategy instead of sort of going willy-nilly with it, because it can be terribly time consuming. So I've kind of done a little bit of Instagram this week, and if you don't have a clear strategy or set aside a certain amount of time, then it can suck up a lot of time. So I would say keep testing, test what's going to work well. Maybe if you're focused on YouTube, stay focused on YouTube as your main social media platform, because it's you do the work once, and then the content is searchable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, week after week, year after year, etc. Whereas the other social media platforms are not search engines, but why not add another social media platform like Instagram or Facebook or all three, and spend a few minutes each day after you've uploaded your content to YouTube. Maybe the next day you could take 15 minutes and share that video on Instagram. Then the next day you could take another 15 minutes, share it on Facebook, or if you have a lot of time, you can do share it on Facebook, Instagram, the same day. But I think having a strategy and then testing the strategy, see where you get the most traffic. But if you're doing like, say for instance, you chose Instagram and you did that consistently, and you find you're getting thousands of new followers after a few weeks or a few months, then maybe you're building up the audience on Instagram, and then once in a while you can send all those followers to your YouTube channel. So suddenly you get more views on the YouTube videos. So I would say build up the audience on, say, Instagram, and then see if they transfer to YouTube, or else just build up your audience there, and maybe do the same on Facebook. And the other tip is to use time blocks. So don't spend hours and hours trying to figure it out, but set aside that 15-minute time block, that 30-minute time block each day. So the whole idea is that you're spreading you're exposing your content to a wider audience, and as a result of that, down the road you might be promoting your product, an affiliate product, etc. And another tip is to use every social media platform as it's meant to be used. So for Instagram, etc., like Instagram stories is just the you share a 15-minute tip or make an announcement, and then it disappears in 24 hours. Whereas you share a post on your profile, it's going to stay there forever. Instagram, IGTV, it's going to stay forever. If you go live, then that live video is going to stay there forever. And then people are going to find you through different hashtags as well. So so you can build up that way. And then on Facebook, then you can experiment with building up an audience there as well. And then I think every social media platform has a different algorithm, but you can check your external traffic sources in YouTube Analytics to see, are they coming from Facebook? Are they coming from Google search? Are they coming from Instagram, etc.? And then you can also check the I think on Facebook you've got, I think it's called Insights. Not too familiar with that, but you can check the analytics on Facebook. You can check the analytics on Instagram. I think it's called Insights. So, and you can try to see it, kind of do some tracking and see what works best. So if you've got any questions about how to use social media to promote YouTube content, put it in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, then put them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. So I'm not really the expert on social media because I'm mostly focused on YouTube, but if any of you that are on the call got any other tips about how to promote YouTube content on social media platforms, then by all means, put your tip in the chat or the comments. But I think, if you're just starting out your YouTube channel, then I think you're probably best not to spread yourself too thin and start posting on all the different platforms. I think the best is to kind of concentrate on one social media platform like YouTube, because it's it's long-term content that's going to be there for a long time. It's searchable, and then once you've kind of mastered or got very familiar with YouTube, then you can move to a different platform. Or if you got if you wanted to if you've got a lot of time on your hands, then maybe you're uploading a YouTube video just once a week. Then say you upload it on a Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you could spend time repurposing your content by uploading it to these different social media platforms, transcribing your content, and then converting it into a PDF file, submitting it to social media, to PDF document sharing sites. You could convert it into audio, submit it to podcast sharing sites. You could even offer to create a blog post, a guest blog, be a guest blog post for somebody else's website. So you can go to somebody else's website, where they're continually posting articles. And if it's related to the content that you're sharing on YouTube, you could offer to, post an article and embed a video in your article for that particular blog post. You get traffic. Your content is then exposed to a different audience from that website. So there's all different kinds of strategies that you can use, but I think testing is key. Setting aside a time block, being consistent, and then keeping track of where is most of your traffic coming from. Is it coming just from YouTube? Say like on my channel, most of my traffic's coming from Google search rather than YouTube search or suggested traffic. So that means that strategy is working very well. So as a result, I just keep on posting the videos on my my blog. So I would say just experiment with it, and maybe in this next week you can, if you have any more questions about how to use social media to promote YouTube content, put them in the comments. Then if you have any other suggestions for future live streams, then put those suggestions on the Facebook group, in the comments, etc. Hey, thanks everybody for attending today's live stream. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the live stream next week. Have a great weekend.